Hello friends, let us know what Jimmy has to say about the book Desire Under the Elms by Eugene O'Neill. Plot construction and themes. Desire Under the Elms is a very well constructed tragedy of O'Neill. It is compact, it is well knit. The concentrated impact leaves a great impression on the mind of the audience. Every stroke tells and every dramatic move aims at some particular effect. All the three themes of Desire Under the Elms have been harmoniously knit by O'Neill to form an artistic play. The themes of the sense of possession as symbolized by the farm, love and passion of Abby and Eben, and the father-son conflict is well presented. All the three threads have been harmoniously blended by the author. The play has an organic plot and the plot is tragically simple. The central theme is the illicit love between Abby and Eben. They are physically attracted to each other, but later on we see Abby so much in love with Eben that to win and keep Eben she takes the drastic step of killing her infant son, and this leads to the tragic denouncement of the plot. Abby's action is prompted by the conflict between the father and the son. Eben is observed with the idea that Ephraim has slaved his mother to death. This puts him against his father, for whom he feels nothing but hatred and therefore does not hesitate to respond to Abby's love overturns. Thus, this play is a tragedy of sexual desire. The other two themes are woven round this theme. If we look at the play from the point of view of an Aristotelian tragedy, it would not be incorrect to think of how the play observes the unities of time, place, and action. The story of the play does not cover 24 hours. Instead, it takes 3 days of 3 seasons, summer, autumn and spring. So the period of the day is a little more than a year. But the place is the same, the farmhouse of Cabot. The action is one and single and therefore the unity of action is observed. The writer uses the symbols of farm, the old elm trees, etc. to add intensity to the action of the play. The artistic use of symbolism by the author gives a three-dimensional effect to the meaning to be conveyed. The play has a regular beginning, the middle, and the end. The first 3 scenes are used for expression, but these scenes fill the background pictures for us. True that Peter and Simon go away to California and are heard of no longer, but they give us the colorful picture of anti-father feeling in the hearts of the son. Abby is also introduced later on and her story of life wins our sympathy. Ephraim tells Eben, "I am worth 10 of you, and old as I be." So the beginning of the conflict is also there. The middle of the play covers the entire Act 2 and the scene 1 of Act 3. Eben feels a kind of satisfaction in winning the love of his stepmother Abby. The symbolism of the elms for the dead wives of Ephraim and nature becomes more clear in the middle portion. The ending portion of the play covers Act 3 or Part 3. Eben at first misunderstands Abby and her love for him. So Abby kills her son to prove her loyalty to Eben. Eben's doubts vanish as he declares himself as an accomplice to the murder of the infant. Both the lovers are arrested. Ephraim now knows that Abby did not love him, nor did she care for him, so she stands as a tragic lonely figure in the end. Thus, this is well-constructed play in which plot, characters and themes are well knit to create an unity of impression. Let us look at some of the themes in the play. The play, Desire Under the Elms, is a play which touches the innermost feelings of the audience because it has universality of appeal which appeals to every heart. Its themes are eternally recurring themes in literature, but O'Neill puts them in a novel manner, lending them an extra appeal. The first theme we see is that of love of property and sex. Among the prominent themes of the play, the love of property and illicit passion stand out uppermost. It is the love of property that leads Abby Putman to marry Ephraim Cabot, who was twice her age. This by itself is a potentially tragic situation. Eben loved his mother, and he believed that old Cabot overworked her to an untimely death. He also believed that the farm was hers by right and therefore naturally Eben's when she died. He hated his new stepmother Abby because she was bent on taking the farm away from him. He also hated his father Cabot for this. When his mother died, her spirit seemed to hover over the house. The theme of father-son conflict. Eben hated his father Cabot because, according to him, he overworked his mother and because he was over strict and heartless to her. Eben wanted to take revenge on his father, so when old Cabot married Abby, who was 35 and good looking, he was attracted towards her. She is also attracted towards him, and a sort of illicit affair starts between them. This is Eben's revenge upon his father. It is not an act of love that takes place in the parlor. It is the vengeance of the son for all the wrongs suffered by him and his mother. We later on see that Cabot also has no love for his son when he goes to jail. But the young man goes to jail as a victor who has avenged his mother, who was love's martyr. It was old Cabot who was old and lonely and helpless in the end. The theme of loneliness. The theme of loneliness is also found in our play. Old Cabot feels lonely and goes out for 3 months in search of a wife. He gets Abby. Similarly, all other characters are loners. Eben is lonely, morose, and gloomy. Abby was lonely and was looking for security in life, and so he married Ephraim Cabot. Thus, the trait of loneliness runs like a thread in Desire Under the Ends. And this was it, guys. If you liked the video, please hit to the like and subscribe icons. Thank you.